Hey everybody, it's Lincoln Seals, the owner of Seals Custom Fabrication. As I mentioned on social media, we're gonna try to start getting a YouTube channel going here for the shop. So this is the first video. A couple of things I'm gonna cover on this video. First and foremost, I'm not a media guy. I'm doing this on my phone by myself. Hopefully it all uploads and makes sense. And things like lighting and all that, I'm still working on. So be patient with me. Hopefully they get better. Second, it's not gonna be, here's how to weld. It's not what I want this to be about. I wanna use the channel to highlight some of the cool things we're doing, like the Unimog back here. Rob, I'm so excited. We'll document this as we do the build work on it. It's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of cool stuff, type of fabrication that I absolutely love. We'll highlight fuel tanks, motorcycle customers as riders come through. Hopefully we see a lot more riders next summer taking the time to stop in. All of you should expect to at least have your picture pop up on social media, if not a quick 5-minute talk for a YouTube video. Just because you guys are all crazy and amazing and doing incredible things, and I want people to know that. For those of you that don't know, with the motorcycle fuel tanks, these folks do extreme long distance, essentially scavenger hunts, averaging 1,000 miles or more a day for several days on end. They have supported me from day one and been an incredible community, and I love all of you guys, so we want to be part of that. Another thing I want this channel to really be about is talking about Skills USA and trades education. We'll get deeper into some of the education stuff I want to talk about later down the road. Skills USA is the important one right now. For those of you that have students in high school, anywhere in the country, Skills USA is a huge program. It allows them to take things like automotive, mechanics, welding, and compete. And it teaches them, for those of us that are a little older, it was the vocational, VICA, they called it all kinds of different things. But Skills USA is on a national level, and it gives these kids just incredible opportunities. My son Cameron is the Montana chapter president of Skills USA. He won the state automotive division last year, was able to compete in the nationals in Atlanta, and he'll be going again this year, his senior year. The cool thing with that is the scholarship opportunities he's given him. He's going to be able to go to college and virtually pay nothing out of pocket. And he's going to a very prestigious automotive and racing school to chase his dreams. Mr. Hunter at the high school, through Skills USA, has enabled him to do that. These programs like Skills USA can't exist without support from parents, support from shops. Cameron was given the opportunity to go train under several master technicians in several different shops prior to his competition. I am working with Flathead High School and the School District 5 Ag Center, probably not this year, but next year, to hopefully have some students compete on the welding side. Guys, our instructors are incredible. They are slammed. They have these kids maybe an hour a day, 2 if they're lucky, and they're trying to teach them these skills, and they need our help. So whether it's voting to pass bonds or talking to your district about beefing up the trades programs, or in my case, I'm going to step in as an advisor. I'm going to take time out of my shop once a week to go work with these kids, and I'm going to open the doors to my shop for the kids that are competing to come in and train and practice where I can help them and support them. I'm not doing it for any reason other than to give back, to help these kids find a way. I have a couple of high school kids I've worked with from day one that are just fantastic, and hopefully they're working for me full time one day. But these programs need our help, and I really want to use this platform to talk more about that, get more in depth with it, and how anybody watching can support this through their own programs. 5 minutes in, boy. So it's really hard for me to be in front of a camera, knowing especially what I plan to talk about in this video. And so if you're still watching, bear with me. If I get emotional, bear with me. I'm a great, big, emotionally sensitive, I guess, bear of a guy. But I spent a lot of years trying to stuff that down. The last 2 years running this shop have been incredible. They've been some of the most amazing moments in my life. They've also been some of the most stressful. Part of why we've been so quiet on social media is posting and sharing this stuff takes a lot of bandwidth. It takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of mental energy. And I got to a point where I simply didn't have the mental energy to spare. With the Iron Butt rally and the rush of orders that came for that I thought I was prepared for, that I really wasn't. And chasing the dollar, chasing jobs to keep things afloat. And then the last 2 months, the government shutdown affected my family pretty drastically. It's been a lot. I don't have any kind of official diagnosis. I do have at least 2 kids that have Asperger's syndrome, which for those of you that don't know is on the autism scale. Very high functioning, very brilliant kids, absolutely brilliant. All my kids are brilliant, they're amazing. But that's a challenge they've faced that we recognized in them. And as I've gotten older, I've realized some of those traits were probably inherited from me. And so for the past few months, those things have come to a head. ADHD, which is a diagnosed thing, and I know everybody says they have it. But it's real and it's rough. And with that has come absolutely crippling anxiety and a lot of depression. The depression's been there for 25, 30 years, and you just stuff it down, work harder, knuckle under, it'll go away, toughen up. And I kept ignoring that, and I kept ignoring it, and I kept ignoring it until I started to break. And a couple of years ago, had a cardiac event that was stress induced. They didn't call it a heart attack, they called it a cardiac event. And I thought I was having another one this summer, come to find out it was a panic attack. I was behind on customer orders. I was behind on keeping up with things I've promised to customers, and I was overwhelmed. For those of you that don't know, my fuel tanks, they're all handmade. I CNC cut them, but every bend, every weld, they're all handmade right here in the shop. And there's only a couple of people that I trust at all to weld on these, because you're strapping 5 gallons of gas on the back of somebody's motorcycle. I have a pretty intense personal responsibility with that. And that unwillingness to recognize that I was struggling and ask for help just kept building. It started to damage relationships at home. It's damaged relationships with my especially my oldest kids. Thankfully, Heather hasn't had her fill and punched me in the mouth or anything else. But it finally, over the last 2 months, overwhelmed me. And while work is still going out, work is still being done, I just didn't have the energy to post it. And I struggle with putting this out there because I feel like it makes me weak in some manner. It makes me seem like I've failed in some manner, and it's 100% not the case. We've done some pretty incredible things coming out of this shop. I've gotten to be part of some amazing stuff that I can't even talk about on here. That's some of the coolest stuff I've ever done. But all of that was overshadowed by this depression and anxiety and inability to focus and pay attention. And it finally got to a place where I had to reach out to my wife and say, look, I know I'm seeing somebody for the ADHD, but I'm not okay. You know, when you're supposed to be the head of your household and managing and supporting everybody, admitting you're not okay really sucks, and it doesn't feel good. And it was really hard for me to do. And there were days in the last 6 weeks where it took everything I had just to get out of the truck and come inside. Now, all that being said, I did finally reach out to get help, to get professional help, to get some support on the back end with some things to help make the anxiety a little more manageable, to help keep my mind a little more focused. I'm not using any kind of ADHD stimulant. For those of you that know me, that would just be a terrible idea, and you're probably laughing thinking of Hemi the squirrel from Over the Hedge. But that support has allowed me to rein my focus back in, to get caught up with projects going out the door at the shop, to honestly, my welding has improved. These tanks that are sitting behind me are some of the best aluminum welding I've done in quite some time. But I want to be open, and why I talk about this, because there's other people out there going through this. And I know it's kind of cliche, but there's people out there. And can you reach out to me if you're in this place? Absolutely, 100%. Am I gonna have the answers on how to help you? Probably not, let's be honest. But I will take the time to help you find those who can. It's a lot, and I feel like I need to share it. I spend a lot of time focusing on the good in the shop, and I don't talk about the bad and the struggles, and I need that to be real. I need it to be out there. Just to feel like I'm being honest with everyone. But hopefully you're still watching. Hopefully nobody's turned this off, but don't be afraid to reach for help. It doesn't mean you've failed. If you're like me and have a hard time seeing anything but the negative and anything but the mistakes and the failures, I get it. And it's hard. It's hard to look at the incredible things we've done. It's hard to look at the Iron Butt Rally and realize the 27 of the 47 fuel cells in that rally came out of this shop. It's hard to look at the contract that we're involved in and just the incredible project that is. You know, those aren't failures. Have I made mistakes? Absolutely. I've made more than I can count. I'm a welder. I work with my hands. I'm not a business guy, but I'm getting better, and the mistakes are fewer, and generally they're administrative, but we're coming along, and we're going to keep working to get better. And I'm going to keep sharing with you guys that trip. And you know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I had this horrible childhood or anything else. I came up in an incredible, loving home with incredible parents who gave me every opportunity they could. Sometimes some of our brains just got wired differently, and it takes a minute to figure out how to fix that and redirect that wiring. And I'm still working on it, so it's going to be a process, and there may be weeks that I miss because I just don't have the energy for YouTube. But I'm hoping that we can do more, and I can show you guys more of this. Now, I'm gonna take a quick minute, show you guys these tanks up close, talk a little bit about the Unimog and some of the cool stuff that we're gonna be doing there. Rob, I hope you don't mind me putting this out there. I will try to make sure the plate stays covered up. But thank you for watching this. Thank you for listening. If you're still here, we'll keep trying to improve. I'll keep trying to improve the editing. I'll keep trying to make these better. So just hang out, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll see what comes of it. I have no intention of monetizing it. I simply want to share the cool stuff that we're involved in and the cool people that I get to work with. For those of you that don't know, Kylie went up to the college for a while with KM Fabrication. Kylie has left the college, and after the new year, hopefully you'll be seeing her around. Hopefully we're gonna start working on a really cool project that we're gonna get to show off and share. I don't wanna jinx it yet, but so let's look at kind of what's going on over here. It's a mess, so don't mind. But this is the design tank that started it all. This is my BMW GSA wedge tank. Just got pressure tested. I was on a roll this day. Same day I was working on this one. This is for a Harley Davidson pillion seat mount. Mounts on the shock towers up over the back seat. These are all designs that I came up with, amazingly enough. Now, let's talk about the Unimog. This is a 1965, I believe, Mercedes Unimog, German make. All the writing on the inside is German. Big four-wheel drive. These things are so cool. They're one of the most capable four-wheel drives that I've ever seen. So for this guy, there's gonna be some lighting that goes in. We're gonna get rid of this rotten gas tank, and it's gonna get a Seals Custom Fab fuel tank on it. We're gonna mount some light tabs up here. There's gonna be some lights that go on the back. There's going to be, we're gonna bob the frame. Right, we're gonna cut the frame up almost even with the back tires. Then we're gonna build a spare tire carrier for one of these monsters. And it's gonna mount up here on the back. And it'll pivot down this way off the back of the bed on it. Again, I've loved these things for years. I'm really excited to have the opportunity to work on one. We'll try to do some stop motion, it's not right, time lapse videos of that work and some of the other stuff we have going on. So 17 minutes, boy. Hopefully if you're still paying attention and you're still watching, you come back. Thank you for everyone's support. Thank you for subscribing. Hopefully this grows and we can start showing some cool stuff. Comment about things you want to see. Other than that, yeah, thank you everybody.